Oh, hey, welcome to my crib. Come on in. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For anyone who's new here, my name is Sean Anderson and I am a second year anesthesiology resident now based in San Diego. I've been here for about 2 weeks now and a lot of our goal has been to just settle into the new home and a lot of it's pretty much done, so we figured we share it with you guys now. I'll try to put links in the description box for some of the stuff that we have here in case you guys like them and are curious. Let's get started. So coming into the house, we walk through the front door and we kind of just have this little entryway. Now, it's not much, but we do have a shoe rack here. We've got a bunch of shoes. We have some guests in town that are visiting, so that's kind of why it's a bit overfilled, but pretty basic. We're thinking about upgrading this area with like an actual longer kind of entryway table, probably a mirror on the wall somewhere. If any of you guys have recommendations for anything, definitely comment them down below. So coming around this way, we have the living room area. And honestly, this is what I'm most proud of. If you guys watched the vlog when I first moved into this house, this was pretty much empty. And when I was thinking about what was gonna make this house feel like a home, to me, it was making a really comfortable living room area. So I've mostly been working on this space. We got this couch from Facebook Marketplace for about 450 bucks, and that was honestly a steal. Super, super comfortable. And then we basically are going for this kind of blue and wood theme with the house, which you guys will see. So first thing I did was get this carpet from Amazon. I think it was probably 120 bucks or something like that. And then we got this really nice wood coffee table also from Facebook Marketplace. And this thing was only 40 bucks, so kind of a steal for us. And we kind of just decorated it a little bit with some Time Pokemon magazines, add a little bit of personality to the house. And in this bowl, we actually have some shells that we collected at the beach the other day, which again, I think really helps the space feel like a home when you're starting to add things in that fit your personality or things from your little adventures. It's definitely a space that has really come together. We actually just hung this up an hour ago just for this house tour, but it's basically been sitting on the floor for the past 2 weeks. And this actually is from my apartment back in Vegas that I brought back to my parents' house and now brought here with me. So a little bit of stuff from Vegas, but a lot of the things in the house are actually completely new because when Eddie and I decided that we wanted to move into this house, we kind of wanted a sense of new adventure. And a way of doing that is honestly just by getting some new stuff. Over here, we have these cabinets that actually came with the house. We didn't even have to buy these. And it's cool, they have these lights on them that are easy to flick on. So when it's nighttime here, it creates this really nice ambiance. And this is the TV from my apartment back in Vegas. Had it mounted up here, and now we can watch my vlogs on the big screen. And so this definitely has probably been the part that's made it the most comfy, is by getting a TV up so us and our friends can just sit here, enjoy watching some movies. Like I said, we have some friends in town and they were just watching Ratatouille earlier, and it's just really made the space come together. Over here is a fireplace. We haven't used it. I don't even think I know how to use a fireplace, so I don't know how much we'll be using it, but it looks nice. That's it for the living room. So if we head this way, we'll actually enter the kitchen. And this is probably my second favorite space in the house. This kitchen, when we saw this on the photos, kind of was one of the selling points. The natural lighting in here is just absolutely phenomenal. There's just windows covering basically this entire corner. So it gives this really nice open ambiance. The kitchen also has a really nice view of the backyard, which Eddie and I love for the dogs, which I'll show you guys after we're done touring through the actual house. But to get started with the kitchen, we have this island right here in the middle, and this thing is super spacious. It's a great spot to eat, but also even get some work done. As you can see, Eddie's got his laptop there, and whenever we have friends in town, they can, post up here, get work done, eat. And this was a huge selling point of the kitchen for us as well. And also one of the reasons that we've decided not to get a dining table, which I'll talk more about that in a sec. But coming over here, we have a ton of counter space, which is really awesome because Eddie likes to cook. I'm not much of a cook myself, so I'll leave that to Eddie. But we really have more than enough space for two of us to really do whatever we need to in terms of meal prepping, making meals, having breakfast, whatever it is. It's a really just awesome amount of space. We have a pretty new Samsung fridge, which was really, really nice. Not very full. I won't show you guys the inside. I haven't really done any grocery shopping while I've lived here so far. That's on me. I'll get better about that. But besides that, we have tons and tons of storage, which again, not a lot of groceries, but we have so many shelves that expand all the way around here, all the way to the other side. We even have a bunch of storage space like on the island down here. So even opening this up, you can just slide out all the pans and pots and really just a lot more than we need, honestly. The rest of the kitchen's pretty standard. Got an air fryer, sink, dishwasher, all this stuff. But one of the things we love in the kitchen is this little nook right here, which we got this seating pad from, where was it, Home Goods? And we kind of just threw it on here, kind of matches the color scheme. But this is just like a really nice place for people to sit if they want to just sit, chit chat, hang out. The dogs really like coming up here and sitting. I always see on the home security cameras when we're gone, I'll see Chewy jump up here and just take a seat and kind of lay down here or stare out the window into the backyard. Just like a really nice seating area that also has storage underneath that we can put all the dogs' food and their toys in, their leashes. Just honestly, the perfect little corner. So coming over to this side of the kitchen, we actually have a standing desk workstation. Now, this was a decision of practicality rather than aesthetics. So I'll be doing some work here because of YouTube, editing, all that kind of stuff. And Eddie will be working from home as well. And then he's also doing things for video planning, editing, all that stuff. So we kind of made the decision to have a workstation here in this corner of the kitchen because both of us are going to be doing things that require editing and kind of working from home. And although we do have an extra room to use as like an office space, which we'll show you guys later, there's still something about having kind of this open office space here in the kitchen with all the natural lighting, easy access to food, snacks, like if you make breakfast but want to get work done. We felt like it would be kind of nice to just have a little station that we can set up in. So we decided to go with this standing desk over here in the corner. And honestly, I am really happy that we did this. I already edited a couple videos here and it's been really nice to just be able to do it out here in this open space. So this is actually the FlexiSpot EW8 standing desk in the white and bamboo colors. And FlexiSpot actually sent this to us as a home warming gift, and they're actually the sponsor of this video. So when we made the decision to have a workstation in the kitchen, we knew that we wanted a standing desk because when you're working so long at a desk and doing a lot of sitting, as we all know, it's not very good for us. I'll already be sitting a lot in the operating room as an anesthesiology resident. So we knew we wanted something where we can actually stand and not spend more of our life sitting down. And adjusting the height on this thing is super easy. You have these buttons right here, so you can just press the arrow and it'll go exactly where you want it to if you want to go higher, depending on your height. You can also preset different heights if there are different people working at the desk that have different preferences. So you can just click one of these buttons and it'll go to the height that you have preset. So besides being able to adjust the height, I also just really love the practicality of this desk. It actually has two ports right here. It's got a USB port and a USB-C port. So it's really easy to plug things in. Like I have some mics charging right here and I could plug a phone charger in if I wanted to. It's also got this drawer right here, which is super convenient. So we can store things like I've got a Magic Keyboard in here. We have a external solid state drive and it's just nice to be able to put things in the desk. And honestly, the setup was super easy. It took like no time at all. And we absolutely love the aesthetics of it. As I told you guys earlier, we're going with this kind of like wood theme for the house to make it feel like that Cali vibe. And so it was really nice that they had this bamboo and white option that pretty much fits the rest of the kitchen. In general, I'm really happy that we went with the choice of having a workstation with the FlexiSpot EW8 desk here. I really just like that we can put our equipment here, our MacBooks, they just plug right in. We have our camera gear. It's just a nice place to get work done. If you guys are interested in the FlexiSpot EW8 standing desk, I'll have the link in the description box below. Make sure to check them out as well as their other awesome products. And a huge shout out again, FlexiSpot, for sending this over and for sponsoring this video. All right, so moving this way, got some dog beds here on the floor. We'll have to get some more once Eddie's pups are here. But this is the hallway that goes towards the bedrooms. There's kind of just a bunch of storage in here. We have pretty much all of our coats and everything, a bunch of our friends' stuff who are visiting town. This is the first bathroom in the house. This is pretty much Eddie's bathroom as well as just like the general guest bathroom. Not really much more to say about that. Over here is my bedroom. So this is the master bedroom. Pretty basic, honestly. You guys have seen it in the vlogs and I haven't done too much with it. So when you first walk in, you have the closets, and this is the part that I was actually really surprised about and didn't even know about until we had moved in. There is so much closet space. In fact, there's even a drawer right here for my accessories, which is pretty cool. The other side of the closet pretty much looks the exact same. So when Eddie and I first moved in, we actually realized we had so much storage here that we didn't need the dressers that we came here with. So we actually sold those. It's pretty much it for the closets. Over here, kind of just have my bed. Nothing too crazy. Yes, this is how I make it. Not very good at making my bed, but this is the real me. This is what you get. So I actually got this bed frame from a co-resident, which was pretty cool. And it's kind of my first time having a headboard. You know, felt like I had to grow up a little bit. And that's pretty much it. This nightstand came from my house in Vegas. That lamp came from my house in Vegas. I think they were maybe IKEA. I'll link them in the description box below if they weren't. Over here, I have the FlexiSpot Lotus recliner that you guys saw in my vlog a couple weeks ago. I'm still loving this chair. It's a great spot to just sit down and do some editing. If I kind of want to lounge and not work at the desk setup, I can just sit here, recline, and just work on this. So really loving FlexiSpot's products. They've really helped us a lot with our move-in. Over here, I have the mirror from my place back in Vegas. Really nice, super gigantic. It's like, I don't even know how tall, but I absolutely love this thing. And in here is just my bathroom. Nothing too crazy, but it is like the master bedroom, so it's got its own bathroom, and it's pretty small, but I've never really had a big bathroom, so I really don't mind. For me, it's like a perfect amount of space, and the shower is really nice, kind of just like a walk-in kind of shower. And probably my favorite part is like the water pressure. I've never had such good water pressure in a place compared to this. It's absolutely incredible. Also, since it's a walk-in, it's really easy to give the dogs showers. I can just walk them in there, close the door. Back at my place in Vegas, I had to worry about them jumping out of the bathtub, and that was always very annoying. So I really like this for that. So that's it for my room. Over here to the right, we have Eddie's room, and I'll mic him up and let him tell you guys about it.
All right, well, this is my room. Pretty simple. I have my cello and my books over there. I got a nice painting to fit the California vibes. So this bed is actually new. I decided not to bring my mattress from home and get a new one. Just got a nice simple blue blanket, you know, a little white one for if it gets cold. Over here I have my nightstand. Wanted to get something with some shelves so I could put books or journals. Also have this lamp which has 3 different settings, just kind of neat. Simple alarm clock with a light. Other than that, not too much to say. I think here I'll put a floor mirror, maybe something in wood to match everything else, but yeah, not too much to show.
All right, switch back. Now we're gonna show you guys the office. So this is our 3rd bedroom, which we basically have turned into a gaming room. This is Eddie's setup from his place. We've got his gaming PC, his monitor, and this is the IKEA Beckett desk. And Eddie's got one, and I actually have the exact same desk in white, coincidentally. And then my setup, my gaming PC, my monitor here. So we pretty much have like the same kind of setups. We just have them back to back, which we are a little butt to butt when we're gaming, but I think it'll just bring us a little bit closer together. What's nice about this room too is it gives us just some extra storage. So nothing's really organized in here, but we can essentially store extra equipment. We have some power strips. I've got some of the camera supplies in here. Pretty much anything we need, just a bunch of extra storage. That's pretty much it for the office. We'll be playing a lot of games in here, I'm sure, a lot of Overwatch. So that's it for that room. Coming over here is basically just our laundry room. We have washer, dryer, and these were actually non-negotiables for us. When you're moving to a new place, you kind of need to be real with yourself and decide what are things you want no matter what. And for us, that was an in-unit washer and dryer, just because it's 2 of us. We're gonna be doing a lot of laundry, and we wanna make sure we had a garage, which you'll see in a sec. And we also had a non-negotiable for a backyard for the dogs. And you'll see that in a sec as well. So again, it's important to know what you're not willing to settle on and what you're willing to compromise on when you're moving into a new place. And here we have the garage. So again, non-negotiable for us was a garage. I wanted to make sure that I had a place to keep my car safe, but also charge my car since I drive an EV. This garage has a lot of space and a lot of storage, which is really awesome. We even have this like bar slash workbench, which we're gonna move things around so that we can fit both cars in the garage if we want to. But honestly, a lot of space. Really nice garage. Pretty much all I have to say about that. Again, know your non-negotiables. Now let's head to me and Eddie's favorite part of the house, the backyard. All right, so here we go into the backyard. First thing we did when we got into this house was put in this like sliding door, doggy door insert. This is from Amazon. It's like $100, but this was such a clutch thing to have back at my old apartment, and we knew we were gonna want it here. That way the dogs can just go in and out throughout the day. We don't have to worry about it, and they've already gotten used to it just fine. They pretty much go out here throughout the day multiple times and absolutely love being able to have that freedom. So starting over here, we have this like planter setup. So if Eddie and I wanted to grow some like vegetables or something, we could. I don't know if we will, but it's kind of nice that we have the option. If you guys have any recommendations for things that Eddie and I can plant here and just any advice for planting, definitely comment them down below because we've never done it before, but it'd be kind of fun. Over here, we have this orange tree, which is pretty sick because it just grows oranges. I haven't tried eating them yet. I guess we could at some point. I'm just like a little bit afraid because I've never done that, but we can do it. And then this is basically just a large amount of space for the dogs to be able to run around, play, do whatever they want. They loved having a big backyard at my parents' house back in Las Vegas, so I didn't want to take that away from them. So that's again why this was such a big priority. And they basically spend all day out here just exploring, which is really, really awesome. Now, one of our favorite things about the house is it actually came with this hot tub, which is super sick because I haven't really had a hot tub and it's pretty nice. We actually used it for the first time a few nights ago and it was pretty warm. Very cozy, especially after a long day of playing at the beach. But yeah, that's pretty much the entire backyard. Again, this is one of the selling points of the house for us because our priority was really making sure that if we were gonna move 4 dogs to California, they needed to be in a place that was comfortable for them, that would give them enough space to run around. And this is exactly that. I think we got extremely lucky with finding this house and we feel very blessed that we were able to move into it. At some point, we're gonna add some patio furniture out here, like a table, chairs, all that stuff, because if you're gonna live in San Diego, you might as well enjoy the nice weather. And that was one of our deciding factors when we decided to do a workstation inside rather than a dining table, because the island is good enough for just Eddie and I, but if we have guests, then we could just have some outdoor furniture and then our guests can all eat outside. You know, I feel like that's just a more San Diego thing to do. Anyway, that's honestly the entire house. Again, we're really happy with the spot. It's already quite cozy, and that was one of my priorities when I moved out here to San Diego. As you guys know, I took about 2 weeks off from residency between my intern year and starting my anesthesiology training. And a lot of the reason for that was because I just wanted to settle into my new home, which is in a new place. I didn't want to move to San Diego and have to go straight to work and then not have time to kind of make the house comfy like I was able to do. Because again, you're starting a very difficult time of your life. Residency is not easy. So you want to make sure that you're happy with where you're coming home to, you're comfortable where you live. And I feel like we've done that. But at the same time, we also have a lot more we can do. We have a lot more decorating to do. We want to hang up photos of our friends, you know, as we make memories. There's a lot of opportunity here. And again, Eddie and I kind of wanted to start a little fresh with our move. And I feel like we've done that. If you guys have any ideas for the house, definitely comment them down below. And if you guys want to know how much we're paying in rent every single month, then we actually filmed a video about that as well as all of our moving expenses. So I highly recommend you guys check that out. Anyway, that's the house tour. My friends and I are gonna go get some banh mi's now, so get out of my house.